Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to build a gravity block duper for Bedrock edition that does 72,000 drops per hour. And this is actually a design I came up with for exploit because, as you may know, I am in need of a ton of concrete because I am building the creeper farm collection area. And yeah, so I decided to build one. And not to mention, this design is really simple. So it is not overcomplicated in the slightest, and you still have easy end access. So this farm runs on a 6 game tick clock, which is 3 redstone ticks. However, because the pistons cannot handle that speed, they are on a cycle of 12 game ticks, and that means that every 12 game ticks there is 12 gravity blocks being sent through the end portal, and that averages out to, of course, 1 gravity block per game tick. And as you may know, 20 times 3600 is 72,000, because 20 times per second and 3600 is the amount of seconds in an hour, which is 72,000 items per hour. And as you can see, they are all at an offset because, of course, the normal Overworld end portal is a little small. But I will also be showing you how to build the same in the end dimension. Let's just go into the end dimension. You simply go into the end dimension by going into one of these little glass pane corners. And yeah, there's a lot of gravity blocks. Let's just clear all of that. And I have also built up the same design over here in the end dimension. So there is 2 variations. They're basically the same, but whatever you prefer, you can build either in the end or in the overworld. This allows for flexibility in collection because either you will have your collection at the world spawn, or you will have it on the obsidian platform, which is a little more tedious in my opinion, so there is 2 options. I will also show you how to set up the portals, so that means either remove the bedrock on this one, or slice off the edges on the overworld side portal, and yeah. So if you're wondering what you can put in those slots of the gravity block duplicator, you can put all of these blocks. So of course there's gravel, there's both sand types, you can duplicate anvils, then all of the concrete powders. You cannot duplicate scaffolding or dragon eggs with this design, however dragon egg duplicators are also pretty easy to make, and I might make a tutorial on that too. But for now, not really, because, well, dragon eggs are not very useful in Bedrock edition, so there is not really much reason to duplicate them. But yeah, this works as expected. You just put in all of the blocks that you want to duplicate. You can of course put in multiple types, so let's put in some anvils there. You will just flick this and it will start duplicating all of the items. And of course, this way of duplicating gravity blocks is quite different than the one present on Java edition. So the first one that I know of is of a fellow TechRock member. He has done a video of it on YouTube. It's Sam. And well, I would link that in the description. Because on Java edition, you need to put like boats inside of the end frames in order for the sand to not like completely fall into there. And on Bedrock, you just need to push it in while it's falling and have a partial block. And yeah, so that makes them quite different, and that's why I think it is important to get the difference. Alright, so if you want to build this gravity block duplicator in the overworld, this is the materials that you're going to need, and keep in mind that there is the time marked right now on the screen if you want to build the end version. So that means that if you want to build the version that is in the end dimension on the end fountain, then just skip ahead to that time, and yeah. As you can see, the materials list is stupidly simple. This design is not overcomplicated at all, and we have some mushrooms. If you're lucky, you will only need 4, but we do need maybe a little bit more to delete the end frames, but you definitely don't need a whole stack. And of course you need 12 of the gravity blocks that you are going to duplicate. I just put sand there as a placeholder. Alright, so we are at an end portal, and of course you need this end portal to be fully lit, so make sure you have all the ender eyes and that you have lit it up, because after removing those portal frames you will not be able to light it again. And the first thing we're going to want to do is clear the area a little. So that of course means removing the stupid silverfish spawner, because no one really wants that anyway. We are going to fill in the lava, although that's not completely necessary, but I would still do it because no one wants the lava there either. Let's just clear the area a little. And that's pretty much what we want for now. Due to us needing to grow mushrooms in order to delete these frame blocks, we are also going to need to clear the walls a little so that we have more room for the mushrooms to grow. Alright, so now that we have the space cleared around the end portal, we can use a mushroom method of removing the frames that was discovered on Bedrock by one of my fellow Exploit members, which is zundappchef. And what we're going to do is just look out from the middle and then go out 2 blocks. So as you can see, it would be right here. We're going to dig in 1 block and place 1 puzzle. And in total, it should be 3 blocks below this thing. So as you can see, it looks like this from that height. So let's just do that on every side. And like this. And that should be the same on all sides. Just to verify, just do that. So let's just dig in 1 block further and then do that. And that should look like the setup that you're going to use in order to break those frames. Now just remove those blocks, and what we're going to do is place down our red mushrooms and then bone meal them. In survival this may need some more bone meal, but yeah, we did it instantly and looks like I removed the frame. So just remove that because it is going to interfere with the other mushrooms when you try to grow them. You might need to clear some extra space because it looks like I haven't cleared enough space. And there we go, as you can see you needed the extra space. And yeah, you get the idea, you just need to repeat it on all 4 sides, but make sure that you don't do it too close to the portal, because it will also delete the portal blocks if you're not careful, so you definitely need the exact densing like I showed before, or else it will delete those blocks, and that is not good. Alright, so once we have this 3x3 end portal, we are just going to build up some pistons right here, so just do that there, and do the same on all sides. When you have all the pistons on all of the sides, you're going to want to decide on which of the corners your toggle will be. So we're just going to do it on this corner right here. And then we're just going to pull some blocks around it. And then just stop right there. It's pretty simple. Now we're just going to have some blocks. So have some redstone dust like this. Going to have 2 repeaters like this. 1 repeater like this. Have some redstone dust. Place 1 temporary block. 2 sticky pistons facing down, 1 observer, 1 solid block, lever, 1 more dust. Just flick that for the time being. That will toggle the clock, as you can see, if we turn it on, but let's not do that. Now you're just going to pull some redstone dust around, do a repeater right here, repeater, repeater, and more redstone dust. Next up, just put some observers facing the redstone dust on all of these spots. And then just put some pistons facing inwards on top of the observers. Last step, just put some glass panes on top of the entire thing. And to do that, I would just recommend putting 1 block right there and then building outwards from that. So just put some 3 glass panes like this. And then the other glass panes. And that's it. That's literally your entire gravity block duplicator. The last thing you're going to want to do is grab yourself whatever block you're going to duplicate. Let's just take anvils just because. And well, once we have them in, we can turn the entire thing on. As you can see, it works great. It works just like you would expect it to. And if you do want to access the end dimension, you can just jump in through one of those things and all of your anvils will be here. Alright, so those are the materials that you're going to need in case you want to build the version that is on the end fountain. And those materials at the top are for the and those materials at the top are for the gravity block duplicator itself. That of course are the blocks that you want to duplicate. And the blocks below are for removing the bedrock, because that is necessary in order to make this work. Alright, so first thing you want to do is clear out a bunch of space around the end fountain. And I would say that you clear 3 blocks out in a square and maybe 2 or 3 blocks below the thing. Alright, so once we have the space cleared out, what we're going to do now is remove those 3, those 3, those 3, and those 3 bedrock blocks. And for that, we're going to use a method of removing bedrock that is actually from only 21, but RufusAtticus and we made it a little simpler for the sake of removing the bedrock roof in Exploit. And what you're just going to want to do is go to one of those blocks, so that means always the 3 blocks on the flat sides. just put one solid block right below that, have one piston like this and another piston like this. What you're going to do is go one block in, put a sticky piston there, redstone block, just put your lever there already, and what you're going to want to do is place one snow layer there and 8 snow layers there. Then just flick the lever and bang, the bedrock is gone. And you're just going to want to repeat this on all of those flat sides. Alright, so before anything else, we're just going to place the glass panes on top of the end portals and just do it as I do, which is basically just covering the top of each of those portal blocks, and it should look like this, very simple, and it still gives you access to get back to the overworld by just falling right through there. Now just place some pistons facing up on the sides of the blocks that are cut off, and should just look like this. Now we're just going to decide on which of the corners we're going to put our toggle, so we're just going to do it on this corner right here. What you're going to want to do is take some of solid blocks and just pull them all the way around like this, always going into the corners like I do. And then just finish it up like this, don't connect it to the other side. Now just put some redstone dust. Right before you make the turn, you're just going to want to have one repeater and more dust. Same thing here, and same thing here, and then just finish it up with dust. Now just have one block right here, and have some blocks like this. Just have 2 repeaters facing forward, 1 repeater facing like this, one more block, 2 redstone dust, place 1 temporary block, 2 sticky pistons facing down, observer, solid block, and a piece of dust, and just your lever on top. Now have observers facing the redstone dust, have the observers on all of those spots, so that's basically just next to where the bottom pistons are, and then just have the top pistons right here facing inwards on all sides. And well, guess what, that's your entire gravity block duplicator done. Just make it go down because that will be the off toggle, and then it's on. But of course you're going to need the gravity blocks, so let's just grab some sand. And yeah, that will work just fine, and we'll duplicate everything, and you will find all of the drops at world spawn. So if you reset your spawn using a bed, you will not see the gravity blocks right there, because they will all be at spawn, because of course the gravity blocks are not setting their spawn somewhere else, they only obey to the world spawn. So that is the tutorial for the gravity block duplicator that I built on exploit, and I think it is pretty good because although the output is not that high, it's only 72,000 items per hour, it will be more than enough for most people, and it is also not overcomplicated at all, so it is very simple to build and very easy to maintain. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure to of course check out more of my exploit series, because that is an ongoing thing, and of course make sure to subscribe because I have more interesting stuff like this, and it keeps coming regularly. With that being said, thanks for watching and bye!